Hello, I'm Sean MacCath-Moran, and I am excited to show you the USWDS-based template I've developed for use on GovCMS. I'm a Drupal engineer and team lead. Been developing in Drupal for 16 years now, with the last decade of that being in government contracts. I'm bringing all that I've learned from these experiences to the GovCMS platform, and have developed a site template to give to all of you so you don't have to go through the same growing pains I did. With this, you can hit the ground running with all the basics in place, plus a few nice extras to have. Let me quickly show you what we're covering today, and then we'll dive into a quick demo of the template. I'll be running this template on my local dev for the sake of my own convenience, but this runs very nicely on GovCMS, or you can, if you have access, you can download the repo, and there's a readme.md file that you can follow for setup. What I'll be hitting is the initial installation overview. We'll be looking at what the project looks like right out of the bag. I've added a sample content module. I'm going to enable that and show what that gives you as far as getting you up to speed with how the different components work. I'll talk through the basic theme architecture, and I'll talk about a few key components and considerations that went into the project. So here is our basic installation page. We have no content installed right now, which is why we're getting the page not found on the front end. And we have all manner of block types, content types, uh, different menus set up that will be displayed various places on the page, as you'll see shortly. A whole bunch of paragraph types, some taxonomies, some views. And again, I'll be showing how some of these components all come together when I enable that content module, which I think I'll do right away. So I'm just going to do this from the command line. You can, of course, do this through the GUI just as easily. And now our front page should come to life. Lots of little details to point out here. We have the main menu has populated. We've got some header specific items that have populated. This is a hero paragraph. We'll be looking at that in a moment. This is just a standard WYSIWYG. And then we have a view inserted on the page. Down at the bottom, we have some nice organizational level menus, the contact us as you might hope for, and something to feature in the footer, as well as a general use set of footer links that very often happen, and I found in government sites. You need to link to all of your affiliate agencies, etc. This is a nice way to do that. Popping into the edit on this page. As you can see, we're using the paragraph approach here, allowing us to insert and drag and move items to the position we find most advantageous. So on the hero, you can insert a banner image. As you can see, that stretches across the back. You can just control whether it shows up wide. I also have a clip effect that you can add that will slice off the edge of the image, which gives more prominence to the called out content. So by all means, get in here and play around with that to find the effect that works best for you. And you have the ability to add multiple call out buttons if you so desire. Down in the body, this is just a standard WYSIWYG that lets you edit content as you wish. And this is actually a view being inserted on the page. So you can set your title, what you want that title element's level to be, which obviously is handy for maintaining your appropriate SEO and styling. And the way this plugin, this paragraph works is that you select the view and then you select the display for that view. So we've got, press releases and a view for the USWDS collection, which is the styling provided by the USWDS website. And in addition, this paragraph provides a whack of styling options to let you add additional padding and backgrounds and the like, so you can quickly get to standout styling as works best for whatever you're trying to accomplish on that particular site. That said, let's take a look at some of the other items that are made immediately available on this page. Another one of the items I'm very excited to show you is the organization chart. And what's lovely about this, you can see that we have these organization charts on the page. These are being dynamically generated from the taxonomy that I'll open up here in just a moment. Structure, taxonomy, organization charts. This gives you the flexibility to have a content editor who has access to the organization chart to come in, select different elements, add them, move them, add links to them, etc. And because these are being generated with a paragraph, the content editor can come in and select to enter an organization chart paragraph to the element. All they're doing within the organization chart paragraph is selecting the topmost taxonomy term from the taxonomy, and the chart builds out from there. This is not a perfect system as far as the flexibility of it. For example, if you tried to add 3 sublevels here, you might run into some issues, but if you're just doing basic organization charts, this works a treat. And of course, if you need to expand and do more, give me a call. I'm sure I can figure out how to help you get over the finish line on that. And as you see, anything that is linked shows up with the link in place. Right, moving on to something else I'm also very happy about is this table. Very often, I found that our content editors be working within the Excel program, and the Excel program makes it very easy to export JSON content. So this is a paragraph that accepts JSON, which can just be an export from the content editors with whatever headers they want to insert into a paragraph and have it show up on a page. So the paragraph itself holds the JSON that they export from their XLS file. The fun thing about this is that one of the features, as you can see, you can turn on is the ability to jump to specific headers and be able to jump back and forth between these very rapidly. So if the data that they provide is alphabetically sorted by the first column, then you can select to have that option turn on and have it do this wonderful little bit of trickery. It doesn't care what that first character is, so you can have it be alphanumerics, you can have it be, if you have some that start with a hashtag, those will show up at the top, and you're off to the races. We'll take a quick peek at what that looks like. This is just your regular WYSIWYG body field, and as I mentioned, you're just uploading a data file, and then you can turn on or turn off these features as you like. I'm going to turn those off. Just to show. Forgot to hit publish. There we go. There we go. And now you can see that we have just the flat table showing up without any of the extras incorporated. All right. Additional items that we have here. The careers page is nothing but WYSIWYG content. This is just to have some content here to show some of the flexibility of being able to add and edit items. I'm not going to dive into that one, but the FAQs page I am going to dive into a little bit. So as you can see, we have the different topics of taxonomies that are showing up here. Uh, Sorry, the reason why I say taxonomies. Um, each of the FAQs that are being added to this project have a taxonomy that gets added for what the FAQ uh, subject is. What this gives you, here we go, FAQ categories. What this gives you is the ability to easily um, set up FAQs for specific sections of the site. This requires a content editor, this requires a developer rather to come into the FAQ page and create additional displays that filter just by those taxonomies, but they're set up to be able to do that by just going into the FAQ view, cloning the existing display. So duplicate this, whoops, that's duplicate the view. I want to duplicate the display. Duplicate the display, and then they can add a filter for just the particular FAQ topics that you want to display with whatever particular path you want for that to show up at. This is something that I found that our clients use quite a bit, just to be able to have different FAQs at different parts of the site, obviously. Optionally, you can have turned on for the site this ability to have the new tag and the updated tag. The new tag shows up for any content that is less than 7 days old by default, and the updated tag shows up for anything that's been updated within the last 7 days. This is just very nice for highlighting to your public what's been added, what's been altered. You can obviously modify this so that the time span that the new and the updated tags show up is longer than just 7 days. We found 7 days to be a nice medium for that sort of thing, but different needs for different folks, obviously. And right now, the way this is configured, the new and updated tags do not actually filter to the top, even though this happens to have these showing up at the top in this case. The view, of course, can be modified to make that happen should you so desire that to be. The tags can be exposed as unique elements, and there you have it. The way that these are ordered is important. We found that it was crucial for our content team to be able to set the orders that these are being displayed in, but of course these are being displayed by a view, so we are using an entity queue to manage that. If you're not familiar, an entity queue is just what it sounds like. It is just a list of items. So your content editor can come in and modify the order in which the elements in the entity queue are in. They can remove items from the entity queue so that they're no longer there. You can create an FAQ, and in this case, an FAQ. The reason why this is called FAQ template is because it's built with a notion that you're going to have discrete FAQs on the site for different topics. So you can clone and make an entity queue for topic A and another one for topic B, and then the content editor can arrange things within that entity queue for the topic. Over on the view, it has an association with the entity queue that is running it, and that's how you manage to get the sort criteria to work correctly for your FAQ. So if that was at all confusing to you, get a Drupal developer to look over your shoulder at this, and they will explain it to you more fully. Or hire me. I'll be happy to help you out as well. All right, that's enough for FAQs. I think I did not cover the news center yet. This isn't anything particularly exciting. This is just your bog standard view. I could have done this where it actually showed an excerpt of the news item, but for now it's just the news titles and the date they were added. And of course, you can come in here and do a search like you would with any other search. Yes, little joke there. Cloned citizens showing up twice. Haha. So that is the basic system. Let me double check to see if I missed anything. Right, I should talk about the menus. So on here we have all these different menus that I briefly talked about before. The footer menu are the items at the uh, very bottom. Haha, of course I'm doing this on a longer page. These items at the very bottom, I'll move to the home page to make this easier for myself. We have the site-specific header and footer menus. These are the site-specific footer menus. These are site-specific header menus. Um, these naming conventions are coming from the notion that you might be stamping out several government sites at once, and so you want to have the site-specific ones versus the all of my sites have these same ones kind of menus. So the site-specific menus are the for that unique site in general, and of course the footer menus are the same menu across all of your sites is the general thinking for those names. The books menu, I'm not going to go into here. If you've used the books module and experienced the pain of it, then you know it has problems. This implementation, this theme has some enhancements to the book system that make it a little bit easier to use. There's a book content type that provides a nice way to make a front page for your books. But that's more complicated than I want to go into just now. If you're an experienced Drupal developer, you'll wrap your head around what we're doing there, no problem. And there is that. The last thing I want to talk about is the theme system. So the theme system here is using the Drupal community theme, the USWDS theme. I hit extend instead of appearance. The USWDS base theme, which is here. And this is call it the grandfather theme for the site. In addition to that, there is the USWDS extend theme that has all of the support for the paragraphs and views and such that I was just showing. All of the theming, the pre-process hooks, etc., are all contained in there. And then there is the USWDS custom theme, which is, in this instance, empty right now. The notion being that if you were stamping out, say, 3 government websites that you had shared elements in, you could put that into your USWDS extend so that it would share between those elements. And if you had items that were unique to this particular site, then of course you would put them in the base theme for the site. There may be a paradigm where we have additional items that we're adding to USWDS extend, so having this be separate from your base theme makes sense so that we can more easily pass those on as they become available. And yeah, that's where we're at with that. So thank you so much for being patient with me as I went through all that. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Again, I'm Sean MacCath-Moran. You can find me at amanaton.com and look forward to talking with you about how we can get there together. Cheers.